Hi, gang, it's Adam.
And Patrick.
Coming up on today's episode, we announce the winner of our Disney Year of Animation 2019 calendar giveaway. We talk about last week's award nominations, discuss how we approach Disney spoilers, and cover the latest Disney news and rumors. We feature Mickey's Christmas Carol as part of our Take Two series, and we close out the show with some Quick D. All that and more on today's episode of Gays Do the D.
To all who come to this happy place, welcome.
Patrick.
Heyo.
Hi there.
Hi, Adam. What's up?
We're going to record an episode. Did you not get the memo?
Oh, is that why we're here with microphones?
That is why we're here with our mouths in microphones. We have some headsets on.
I thought I was doing a retake of Mariah Carey's All I Want for Christmas.
Oh, have you not heard enough of that? And you're like, now my version.
I need more. I need more in my life. I need much more. Speaking of the holidays, we are in the midst of the holidays, aren't we?
So many holidays all at once.
Christmas is right around the corner, followed by Kwanzaa. Hanukkah just ended, right?
That's right.
What, December 10th?
That's right.
I know things.
You do know some things. So we'd like to wish all of our friends out there a very happy Hanukkah. We hope you enjoyed your holiday.
Absolutely, absolutely. Speaking of holidays, two friends of the D reached out to us recently, didn't they? They're in Disneyland, maybe right now.
They might still be there.
Yeah.
They're not still there.
If they are, that's a great vacation.
It is. They're really enjoying the D. Our friends BJW Brooks on Instagram and KLVNC on Instagram met up in Disneyland and they romped about.
They sure did. They sent us some really cute pictures, which was fun to see.
Yeah. And I was jealous.
I'm still jealous. I want to be there.
I was sitting at home in my jammies. Eating some chips, probably.
Yeah.
And just watching these amazing photos of them trying to pull the sword out of the stone and being really cute. And I'm like, yeah, that's cool, guys.
I was at Target buying some cat food. Not in California, in wintry Minnesota.
Yep. So we hope you guys had a fantastic time while you were down there.
Yeah. Also, I want to know how you guys know each other because Calvin, I'm just going to call him Calvin because it's K-L-V-N, right?
Calvin is his real name, though, too.
Oh, yeah. I'm so good at names.
Yeah.
Is from Canada, right?
He's from Vancouver.
Okay. And then Ben, I don't know where Ben's from. Maybe California? Who knows? Reach out to us, guys, if you're listening to this episode and tell us how you know each other. Are you friends of the D and now friends with the? I'm trying to rhyme it.
I liked that.
Thank you.
It was so medieval, Patrick.
That's that's where I come from. Medieval times.
Another friend of the D. We're trying to trademark that this episode.
Friend of the D.
Friend of the D.
That needs to be a t-shirt, maybe.
Oh, it does.
Friend of the D shirts.
Our friend Anthony of Agrabah on Instagram reached out to us. He was listening to our last episode, and we had been talking about the Cruella origin story film that's going to be made starring Emma Stone.
So exciting.
And he said, I was listening to last week's episode and just realized with the 80s timeline, this will most likely be a prequel to the Glenn Close 1996 version of 101 Dalmatians and not the animated version. What are your thoughts on this?
That's right. And that sort of sparked a conversation between the three of us.
Right.
I tend to agree with that. I mean, I guess here's the thing. Both films are kind of the same storyline, so it's not as though one's drastically different than the other, but obviously the one with Glenn Close is live action.
Right.
And it came out in 1994, which would have made Cruella, right, in her 30s maybe?
Right.
And so this could be a prequel to that if they're setting it in the very early 80s.
I don't think Glenn Close was in her 30s in 1994.
In my mind, she was.
Sure, but I mean, she was also playing Norma Desmond in Sunset Boulevard on Broadway.
Well, here's the thing. Glenn Close has always been 67 years old.
You're right.
Like since Fatal Attraction.
You're absolutely right about that.
Yeah. Which, I mean, a fabulous looking 67 years old. Yeah, I mean, she hasn't aged a day.
She keeps it tight.
She keeps it tight. She keeps it right.
Yeah.
We're very off track here. But yeah, I think it would be really interesting to see if they do sort of, I don't know, any shots from the previous live action movie and tie it into the new one. Who knows?
And you had commented that it'd be funny if Glenn Close showed up as like her mom or her wacky aunt.
Oh my God, that would give me so much life. I would pause eating my popcorn for just a moment to smile, and then I would throw more popcorn in my mouth.
I think it is more like a reboot. Like they're just starting fresh.
Sure.
They're not even going to acknowledge the fact that Glenn Close played Cruella de Vil. I think that this is going to be just like a whole new start for what they hope will be a franchise.
It also got me thinking, Disney's been doing live action versions for a while now. Like, people are sort of like, I'm over it, but this came out in 1994. So was this the first live action remake for Disney?
I can't think of anything before it.
I can't either. And it was such a good movie too.
Yeah.
And it did well enough that they made a part 2, 102 Dalmatians.
Jolie Fisher, and who was the guy in it? Jeff Daniels?
I think it was Jeff Daniels.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. And then he did Dumb and Dumber.
They're both classics in my book.
And then The Newsroom.
Right.
Which was it was like, wait a minute.
And he's currently starring as Atticus Finch in...
Yeah. To Kill a Mockingbird.
I almost said One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest on Broadway.
It's very early, folks.
To Kill a Mockingbird. That's right. So, I mean, that guy's got some range.
He doesn't know who he is.
Plus, did you ever see him in Terms of Endearment? Young Jeff Daniels in Terms of Endearment? He's fine.
Yeah, but you hate him in that movie. I hate him in that movie.
Yeah, he's not the best guy.
I almost started crying just you saying Terms of Endearment, that movie. I'm not allowed to watch it anymore because I'm a mess for a whole week.
It's a classic Disney film.
Yeah,
it's just...
They're actually making it a cartoon version for Disney.
That's right. Can you imagine?
Starring Miss Bianca as Deborah Winger. No, she would be Shirley MacLaine, actually. Miss Bianca would be Shirley MacLaine.
I'm crying right now a little bit. Oh, tears on the microphone foam.
Yep.
Oh my gosh. Where are we? Who are we? What's going on?
Well, here's a fun segue. So that would win some awards.
Yeah, for sure.
Speaking of awards.
Patrick. You got us right back on track.
I'm a seamstress with this episode.
It is award season. Yeah. Last week we talked about the Golden Globe nominations and we talked about the Annie nominations.
The sun will come out.
And this week we have the Critics' Choice Award nominations as well as the Screen Actors Guild nominations.
Absolutely. 2, in my opinion, really prestigious awards. I feel like a lot of movie makers and actors like these awards better because they're a little bit more their peers voting for them and people in the film community and not just like a room full of old white men.
It does feel a little bit more weighty to me. Like if you have another actor voting for you for a certain category, it just seems like it means more.
Yeah, for sure.
So,
yeah, let's get into them.
Several Disney films have been nominated for the Critics' Choice Awards. Black Panther received 12 nominations.
Of course it did. And well-deserved nominations, I might add.
Those nominations included Best Picture, Best Supporting Actor for Michael B. Jordan, and Best Acting Ensemble, among others. There's 12. There's a list. I'm not going to read them all.
That's too many. I can only get to 3. That's as far as I can read.
I don't have the time.
No.
I need to watch Terms of Endearment, the animated movie, as soon as possible.
Absolutely.
Mary Poppins Returns received 9 nominations.
Amazing.
Including Best Picture and Best Actress for Emily Blunt.
She's getting a lot of Best Actress nods.
She absolutely is. In fact, she received 2 for the Critics' Choice Awards for Mary Poppins Returns. She's also nominated for Best Actress in a Comedy.
Yeah, I didn't know that could be a thing.
I had no idea either.
That Best Actress and Best Actor, I guess, were just overall, and then you can subcategorize them as well.
Do you think she's just sitting back? Like, she likes those odds. She's got it.
She's just like, yas. I'm 1 flew away from my goal weight. Isn't that the line from Devil Wears Prada?
That's right. Something about eating a cheese cube or like 1 cheese cube a day. Avengers Infinity War was also nominated for Best Visual Effects and Best Action Movie. I don't know why. Doesn't make any sense to me.
Can't wrap my mind around it.
And Ralph Breaks the Internet and The Incredibles 2 were both nominated for Best Animated Feature.
They're going to fight it out. Disney's in a fight with itself in that one.
They're right where they want to be.
They
want all their movies competing with each other.
The entire Disney ensemble is just like, work. They're all like collectively, their fingers are doing the strumming. I'll do a picture of it maybe for what I'm doing.
I got it. It's kind of like a Mr. Burns-esque.
Yeah. Excellent.
Yes, exactly. The 24th Annual Critics' Choice Awards Gala will be broadcast on the CW network on Sunday, January 13th, 2019.
True story. So moving on to the Screen Actors Guild nominations, I'll just pull out a few of them. Emily Blunt, again, is nominated for Female Actor in a Leading Role in a Motion Picture for Mary Poppins. Ant-Man and the Wasp, Avengers, Infinity Wars, and Black Panther are all nominated for Stunt Ensemble in a Motion Picture, and Black Panther is nominated for Best Cast in a Motion Picture.
I didn't even know the Stunt Ensemble was an award. I like it.
I like that it's a stunt ensemble as well, like just as a whole team of stunt workers, stunters. What's the
stunt people? I like stunters.
Stunters. I'm stunting. Oh dear. Who do you think's going to win for the Stunt Ensemble? I'm going Black Panther.
I'm going to say Black Panther too.
All those movies were great, but they threw down in that movie.
Yeah, I just think everything in that movie was so much more heightened than other Marvel movies, or just maybe more interesting and different. I don't know. It just felt different to me.
Yeah, they were stunting so hard.
They stunted all over that film.
I was frankly stunted watching it.
Were you?
Mm-hmm. They stunted me. The 25th Annual Screen Actors Guild Awards airs live on January 27th, starting at 8 p.m. Eastern and 5 p.m. Pacific on both TBS and TNT.
Let's circle back to Mary Poppins, Patrick.
Yes, please.
So this is the week.
It's happening.
Mary Poppins Returns opens on Wednesday night, December 19th.
Mm-hmm.
We're going to be there.
We're going to be there.
We're going to see it.
Mm-hmm.
Are you excited?
No. Of course, I'm very excited. I can't wait. I've been waiting for this moment. I feel like I'm going to have a very emotional experience watching this movie because Mary Poppins is one of my very favorite movies. It's a favorite in my whole family. My whole family just sort of celebrates Mary Poppins. It's fantastic. And so this will just be an amazing, I'm just going to call it, it's going to be an amazing movie.
It made both of our top 5 Disney films of all time.
Mary Poppins did, not Mary Poppins Returns.
Right.
Just to clarify.
Right.
We have not seen it before everyone else yet.
So this past week on our Instagram account at GDTD Podcast, I had posted a picture of Dick Van Dyke because he was celebrating his birthday.
Yay, happy birthday.
On December 13th, he turned 93 years old.
Oh, so amazing.
And I mentioned that we were excited to see him in Mary Poppins Returns this week.
That's right.
One of our followers, Randy_and_Tim, commented that they actually didn't know that Dick Van Dyke was going to be in the film.
They've been in a cave for 1 full year.
And then I felt kind of bad because I realized that I may have spoiled what could have been a very special moment for them, realizing Dick Van Dyke is actually in this movie.
Sure, I hear what you're saying.
And they had said they assumed that he would be. They just didn't really know it in what capacity.
Yeah.
But that got me thinking, Patrick. Spoilers.
Yeah.
How do you feel about spoilers? Do you like to go into a movie completely blind to any kind of promotion beforehand? And this can go beyond movies, too. We can talk about park attractions, things like that. How do you like to navigate that before you actually experience something?
Spoilers are tricky. I don't mind seeing previews. I actually kind of like the excitement, the buzz that it generates. But I don't want to hear if someone's already seen the movie and they're going to talk about it on whatever, at work or on a podcast. I won't listen to that episode and I won't listen to that conversation because people try to be really good about not really spoiling something, but they always let something loose, and I don't want to hear it. So I fully understand that side of the conversation. But trailers and previews, I feel like the movie studios know what they're doing and just giving you a tease, a little hint, a little excitement. What about you?
I'm in that same boat with you. I don't mind watching trailers, but one thing I don't want to experience, especially with this movie, I don't want to hear any of the music before I can associate it with the actual scenes in the movie.
Yeah, I'm the same way with soundtracks. Yeah, I don't want to hear the songs yet.
So they released the soundtrack, essentially, so you can listen to it now before you go see the movie.
Yeah.
I'm afraid that I won't like a song, or I just won't associate it with a certain moment in the movie because I haven't seen the movie.
Yeah.
And so I'll walk in with a negative attitude towards the song right out of the bat, and it will make me not enjoy that scene then. So I tend to steer clear of things like that before I see a movie.
Yeah, because those songs are meant to go hand in hand with the visuals of the movie, right? It's a packaged experience, and so hearing it by itself alone is just not as good, and it'll ruin it for you a little bit. It'll dull your senses, I feel like.
Plus, I think I OD'd on that as a little gay boy. I was listening to Broadway musicals so much as a child.
Yeah.
And then I'd go see mainly the touring productions because we weren't traveling to New York all the time.
Sure.
And the cast members wouldn't sound like they did in the recording, and I'd be a little bit upset. Things were just that much different.
Absolutely.
So I think maybe I got my fill of that as a kid, and now I tend to like to walk into things a little bit more virginal. Is that the word to use?
Well, it's never been used about you. But yes, it is the word to use.
What about attractions, though? Do you watch ride-throughs of attractions before you go on the attractions?
I sure do.
Yeah, you do?
I love them. I watch a lot of Disney vlogs. I guess that they're YouTube channels of people who go on Disney vacations. There's a couple of them that I really love, and maybe we'll do an episode about them in the future, so I won't plug them just now. But I like watching them. It makes me nostalgic for my experiences in the park. It's fun to watch other people have a really good time on the rides, and it doesn't. I can see how it could dull your senses to them, but for me, it doesn't. It just generates more excitement
But even if you haven't been on the ride before, you'll still watch the ride through?
No.
Okay.
If I haven't seen the ride at all, like in Disneyland, I don't plan on seeing any of the ride-throughs before we go.
Yeah.
When are we going? October?
October, yeah.
Yeah. Because I just want to make that magical, the first experience magical. But after I've been on a ride, I can watch 1,000 times a day people going on Splash Mountain.
That's why we're friends. Once again, I totally agree with you.
Yeah.
I will watch a ride through if I've been on the ride. The same rings true for me with nighttime spectaculars.
Yeah.
I refuse to watch a nighttime spectacular if I have not seen it. There's a caveat to that. The caveat is, maybe I'll watch one from like Hong Kong Disneyland.
Sure.
Because my chances of going there are slim someday. Fingers crossed.
Yeah.
But I will watch those. By the time I get there, maybe that attraction or that experience will be gone.
Yeah.
But other than that, I like to walk into a nighttime spectacular almost completely not knowing anything about it.
That being said, if you have seen some of those nighttime spectacular shows on YouTube and you think, oh, it's not as good as I wanted it to be, maybe I won't go on that trip. No. I promise you, live, it is so different than watching it. You can't capture the music and the sound and the colors on those YouTube videos that are live and in person. It's such a night and day difference.
I would like to invite everyone to quit trying to capture it.
Yeah. Yeah, frankly, I mean, it's just not the same. And so I don't really...
Put your phones down. Put your iPads down.
Yeah, if I'm in the park and I'm watching it live, put down your iPad, please.
The last thing you want is just a riled up Patrick throwing elbows.
Elbows and popcorn.
You wouldn't throw that popcorn.
You wouldn't.
Into your mouth you would.
I would.
Yeah.
I would eat it so angrily, though.
Oh, just crunch it. Crunch, crunch, crunch.
You can tell I'm angry by the speed at which I eat popcorn. If it's just crunch, 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 I'm mad at you. But if it's just sort of like a slow Eeyore eating some hay, I'm having a good day because you're not filming in front of me. Let's went into a weird direction again. So beyond the YouTube videos and listening to podcasts, there's also like a lot of people do write-ups. Do you read anything about rides that you haven't been on or movies that you haven't seen, like after they've been out and people have been on them and seen them?
I'm totally cool with reading things about things.
Okay.
In fact, that will maybe pique my interest even a little bit more.
Sure.
I just don't want to see it. So, I mean, for instance, we now host a podcast. Patrick, are you aware of that? Yeah.
What's it called?
Yeah, it's called Gaze Do the D.
Thank you.
Yeah. And because of that, we tend to do a lot of research about new attractions and news stories and things of that nature.
You do a lot. I wing it. You research a lot. Don't. I just make it up as we go.
You come in with your notes and you're ready to go.
It's just drawings.
Oh,
it's just it's just little stick figures of me on Splash Mountain.
Sad.
Yep. You've never seen my screen, actually, so you have no idea if I'm lying or not.
But we need to know some things to be able to talk about.
Yeah.
To sound like, at least give the impression that we know what we're talking about. So we do have to kind of...
We've been privy to some things that we maybe necessarily wouldn't have studied as hard if we weren't like presenting it to 13 people listening in.
Right, but I'm totally cool with that. And I'll even see, like, we were exposed to a lot because of the Destination D event a couple of weeks ago.
Yeah.
We were exposed to the Guardians of the Galaxy ride vehicles coming to Epcot. We were exposed to the gondolas for the Disney Skyliner. So we've seen things that aren't necessarily out in public yet.
A lot of people expose themselves to us.
Yeah.
Disney-wise.
Yeah. But those things don't bother me at all. Like, that gets me more excited for the attraction.
Yes.
I just don't want to see, like, a ride-through video of the Guardians of the Galaxy attraction at Epcot before I go on it.
Yeah. You want to just be teased a little bit, not a full explosion.
Although I will say the only time I did watch a ride-through beforehand was Flight of Passage.
Really?
Which is, like, the worst one to watch, right?
Yeah.
But I did it because I was so nervous.
Oh.
Because of my tendency to experience motion sickness on rides like that.
Sure.
So I just wanted to get a sense.
So you just watch people sitting on...
It was someone who completely wasted the ride for themselves by recording, and it's actually a really good video.
Oh.
They had the video screen like up in or like the camcorder.
I can't believe they got away with that.
In front of their eyes, and they just recorded the screen. Yeah.
I've seen people put a camera where you put your bag behind.
Oh, yeah.
So
you just see
filming,
silhouettes.
Yeah, it's actually kind of cool, like a picture of it, the silhouettes of people in Pandora. It's weird. It's a cool photo, but it's like, you're just going to watch yourself riding a ride? I don't know.
Yeah. So that was the one time where I cheated.
Yeah.
And after I watched that, I got to say it did not alleviate any of my nerves. I was like, there's a lot of drops and a lot of spinning, but I did it, and I'm proud to say I did not experience any motion sickness.
Good. I could ride that ride 13 times in a row and then go on it again.
We're going to.
Yay! Well,
at least once.
Once, yeah. We don't have 37 hours in the park.
Anyway, we'd love to hear your thoughts on spoilers, whether you tend to steer clear of them or whether you like to walk into a situation completely knowing what everything is going to be about, every single detail.
Yeah, and of course, the next episode, we will have seen Mary Poppins. So I imagine we'll talk about it, but we will be very good not to spoil anything. Just talk about whether or not we liked it. So it'll just be one sentence. We liked it. Moving on.
I think we may go a little bit more in depth than that.
Okay, we can. But don't worry, we're not going to spoil anything for you.
Maybe one or two things.
Maybe one or two things.
Dick Van Dyke is in the movie.
Yeah, and we'll talk about the ending a lot.
Right. We'll start with the ending and work our way backwards.
Yeah.
So share your opinion on spoilers with us on social media at GDTD Podcast.
Or, of course, email us at info@gaysdothed.com.
Last but not least, Patrick.
Yeah.
We have to make a big announcement.
Oh, I almost forgot.
Yes, our giveaway.
Our last giveaway of 2018.
That's right. Our December giveaway is Disney A Year of Animation 2019 Daily Calendar.
So beautiful.
So beautiful. Fabulous. So colorful.
Mm-hmm.
Every day, some new D to take a look at.
Every day. Every day.
Are you ready for the winner?
I've never been more ready.
The winner of the calendar is Queen_Sensei.
Yes.
Her name is Brienne.
Of Tarth.
No, no, Brienne of Pasadena.
Oh, it's close.
Yes.
Okay.
Who recently graduated from high school and recently celebrated her 19th birthday.
Yas Queen.
So this is like the perfect giveaway for you to win, Brienne, because it'll carry you into your new year, your new life beyond high school.
Yeah.
Disney every day.
Get into that college program.
Oh, yeah, do that, Brienne, and then get us into the parks for a discounted rate.
Mm-hmm. Only if you feel obliged to. We did give you a calendar after all.
We gave you a calendar.
I mean, you kind of owe it to us. Adam.
Patrick.
I want to talk about some news and rumors.
Let's do that.
Hooray!
Disney's Cinderella has been added to the National Film Registry.
The other shoe has dropped.
Oh, it breaks glass.
Oh, on a pillow. It dropped on a pillow.
Okay, safe.
Mm-hmm.
The animated feature from 1950 was one of 25 films recently added to the registry, which is a list of films that are considered culturally, historically, or aesthetically significant and are therefore recommended for preservation.
Amazing.
Cinderella joins several other Disney animation classics like Steamboat Willie, Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs, Pinocchio.
You hate Pinocchio.
And Fantasia. I don't hate Pinocchio.
Just kidding.
I'm just skeptical of the live-action version that's coming.
You hate it. It's fine.
750 films have been given the honor of being added to the National Film Registry.
That's not very many.
Yeah, it's kind of like an elite group.
Mm-hmm.
Like a very hip crowd. You want to be part of that crowd.
It's the cool kids.
It is definitely the cool kids.
You can't sit with us.
They're also very mean, apparently. All these films are just evil.
They're from Mean Girls.
Patrick, did you know that Cinderella actually saved Walt Disney Animation Studio?
I did not know that.
The studio was over $4 million in debt and was on the verge of bankruptcy before they released the movie.
Same.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
You need a hit, Patrick. Mm-hmm. Cinderella became the greatest critical and commercial hit for the studio since Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs in 1937.
Wow.
Yeah, they really needed that film. Just World War II had completely destroyed their revenue, particularly in Europe, because they couldn't get the films shown in Europe.
So you could say Cinderella was their Cinderella story.
Patrick.
What?
Look what you did there.
Thank you so much. In case you missed our previous announcement of your chance to win a Disney fairy tale wedding in the Magic Kingdom, A, why weren't you listening before?
Good point.
Thank you. And B, you're in luck because the campaign has been extended until January 31st, 2019. So here's what I'm talking about. If you head over to omaze, OMAZE.com and search for Disney's Fairy Tale Weddings, you'll be able to donate money benefiting one of my favorite charities, Give Kids the World Village. Each donation comes with an entry into a drawing to win a fairy tale wedding or vow renewal at Disney's Magic Kingdom.
I want it.
I mean, I need this in my life.
I have no engagement plans, but I want it. I could gift it to you, though, right? Isn't that part of the deal? I could gift it to you?
You sure can. I can do a vow renewal 2 years after we've been married.
It would be so meaningful. You guys lasted 2 years?
Who would have thought?
In gay years, that's like 25.
It's a Cinderella story. And it can be at the Magic Kingdom.
I want you in that dress, Patrick.
Thank you. So here's a quick recap of what the winner will get. A wedding ceremony or vow renewal in front of Beast's Castle in the Magic Kingdom. You will also be the first couple ever to have your reception in the Be Our Guest restaurant. You'll be assigned a Disney wedding coordinator who will handle all the details. You will get a honeymoon at Walt Disney World Resort with a 6-day park ticket, and you will be flown to Disney World with a 5-night on-property stay.
If I win this and give it to you,
Yeah.
you are going to owe me so much.
I feel like we'll actually be even. Just kidding.
Oh,
For my friendship.
oh, okay. Yeah, that feels about right.
Yeah.
Not.
Yeah. No, it's true. Man alive, man alive. So obviously all of that is reason enough to enter. But of course, the most important reason is your money will go to an amazing charity, Give Kids the World Village. If you don't know, Give Kids the World Village is an 84-acre nonprofit resort in Central Florida that provides week-long, cost-free vacations to children with critical illnesses and their families. The village provides children and their families accommodations in fully furnished villas, transportation, tickets to theme parks, meals, daily entertainment, and much more. Each year, 27,000 children in the United States are diagnosed with a critical illness. Half of all children eligible for a wish through a partnering wish-granting organization choose to visit Central Florida and its collection of theme parks and other attractions. So the goal of Give Kids the World is to provide everything these families need to make their trip the vacation of a lifetime. Since 1986, more than 165,000 children and families have had their dreams fulfilled in a whimsical village unlike any other place on Earth.
That's amazing.
Oh, amazing. Well done. I like what you did there. Speaking of amazing, you can go to omaze.com to find this campaign. And of course, to learn more about Give Kids the World Village, visit gktw.org. I love this charity so much.
I love the fact that all of our listeners are going to pool together with me.
That's right.
We're all going to enter so that you can win because I want to see you in that dress.
Thank you so much. I'm going to wear it with pride. Hashtag Disney Proud.
According to our friends at WDW News Today, a new guest experience team will assist guests at the Magic Kingdom in Walt Disney World starting December 16th.
I need a lot of assistance.
You really do.
Mm-hmm.
You need all the help you can get.
Mm-hmm.
These people can help you, at least with your Disney experience.
When I get in the park, I'm just like, why is no one ready?
You keep going back to Devil Wears Prada today.
I just watched it recently, and it's in my head. I'm really sorry.
The guest experience team will begin testing December 16th through mid-January. They will work to assist guests with making the most out of their day in the Magic Kingdom in the Walt Disney World Resort. So, for instance, they'll help with booking, modifying, and recovering Fast Pass selections. Recovering? Like, you're like, oh, I lost my Fast Pass. Help me.
Where did it go?
Apparently, some people, I've been known once or twice to accidentally delete a Fast Pass.
Really?
I deleted Slinky Dog a month after it opened, and I worked day and night to get it back, and I succeeded, but...
Oh, I would have slapped you so much.
I even called in and I was like, I was one of those people. I was like, I lost my Fast Pass. I accidentally deleted it. And they're like, yeah, we can see that you did that, but I can't do anything for you.
Oh my gosh.
And I'm like, fair.
That's a relationship ruiner, I feel like. Losing a Slinky Dog Fast Pass.
Matthew's still with me. He's stuck in there.
What a strong, he's strong. He's a strong man.
The guest experience team will also help you navigate the My Disney Experience app, which, let's face it, sometimes you need help navigating that.
It's a little tricky sometimes.
When it works.
Mm-hmm.
They'll also help you.
Oh dear.
They'll also help you deactivate and reactivate magic bands.
Oh.
And provide recommendations on rides, dining, and navigating the park, as well as helping guests view attraction wait times. You'll be able to find the guest experience team by locating the folks in the blue shirts with the guest experience team logos on them. They will float around the park, but they can also be found on Main Street, USA, near the Castle Hub, in Tomorrowland near Stitch's Great Escape, or what was Stitch's Great Escape.
I was like, wait, when was this written?
In Fantasyland near Enchanted Tales with Belle, and in Frontierland by Pecos Bill Tall Tale Inn and Cafe until 11 p.m. daily.
Here's a question not about this at all. You're saying Pecos. I always say Pecos Bill.
Oh.
I need someone to write into us and tell us how you're supposed to say that.
I feel like Pecos is the right answer. I feel like I just misspoke.
No, I've heard a lot of people say Pecos Bill, so I'm interested in what it actually is. If you're a cast member listening, now's your time to shine. Let us know.
What do you think about this guest experience team?
I think it's a great idea. I have a feeling they're going to be a hit in the parks, and it'll be a full-time thing.
I love the idea of cast members walking around the park in very recognizable uniforms. I'm picturing them with like iPads being able to assist you. Like, I think a lot of people who are probably listening to this podcast are Walt Disney World regulars. And we don't really think about those that are just experiencing the parks for the first time and how overwhelming that can be. So this team could really be an asset to them.
Absolutely, especially, for those first-time goers to the park. I have to say, though, they do need to make sure to differentiate them between them and the people who are doing surveys in the park, because they're also wearing blue shirts and they have iPads. And when I see them, I turn the other way. I'm like, I do not have 5 minutes for you. I'm on my way to a ride.
That's true. They always try to stop you very early in the morning during rope drop. And sometimes I'll chat them up if I'm like, what am I going to get out of this?
If I have nothing else to do, I'm like, sure. Here's my thoughts. But because sometimes I just want to hear what the questions are, because those questions sometimes are revealing of what might be coming next in Disney.
Right.
But usually I'm like, I need some popcorn. No time. I'm like the White Rabbit. I'm late. Disney Junior is introducing a new show to its lineup, Mira, Royal Detective. Production is currently underway for a launch in 2020. The show is centered around Mira, a commoner in the magical land of Jaipur, which is inspired by the cultures and customs of India.
Love it.
I'm very excited about this cartoon, actually.
I have no idea other than I have seen the rendering of her, but it seems like it's going to be incredibly colorful. Like I'm just picturing a lot of like bold colors.
Yes. Yeah. The art of Indian culture is so beautiful.
Yeah.
I could just look at it all day long. It's amazing. Amazing. So Mira becomes a royal detective after she solves a mystery and saves the kingdom's young prince. I love that she's saving the prince.
Yeah, good for Mira.
Well done. Each episode will feature 2 11-minute stories that feature authentic music, dance, and customs that are rooted in India's heritage. I'm going to try to get all these names right. I apologize if I don't. It'll probably happen. Mira will be voiced by newcomer Leela Ladnier. The voice cast also includes Hannah Simone from New Girl, Jamila Jamil from The Good Place, Aparna Nancherla, BoJack Horseman, Karan Soni from Deadpool, and Parvesh China from Crazy Ex-Girlfriend.
Was Hannah Simone Cece on New Girl? Schmidt's
I think so.
Wife?
I think
girlfriend?
so, yeah.
Oh, I love her. Yeah, okay.
An amazing cast.
Yeah.
Like, star-studded cast. Lovely. Joe D'Ambrosia, Senior Vice President of Original Programming at Disney Junior, said about the show, "We are eager to introduce kids and their families to the rich, diverse cultures and customs of India through Mira, a young girl who looks at things with her own unique lens to gain different perspectives and help others in her community. We hope that she will encourage our audience to engage actively with the inspiring world around them and appreciate the little details that make life extraordinary."
This is going to be a hit. I can't wait to see her in Animal Kingdom.
It gets better. Better. Okay, so consultants for Mira, Royal Detective, are IW Group's Shangorka Ghosh, who is the series cultural consultant, which is awesome, Bollywood dancer and choreographer Nakul Dev Mahajan from So You Think You Can Dance, and music producer Deepak Ramprina from Basmati Blues are also working on the show. The series will feature original songs written and produced by Emmy nominees Matthew Tischler from Fancy Nancy and Jeannie Laurie from The Muppets, and music composer Amrita Vaz from Miss India America.
Wow.
I know. So it's going to be a musical. It's going to be full of Indian culture. I am so excited about this. I'm going to have to start watching Disney Junior a lot more often with that. And Vampirina, which is also a musical cartoon, which is so cute. I love it.
I feel like this speaks to where you are intellectually.
Yep. They really nailed it on the head with where I went as far as an education.
You're right. So you're basically 5 years old. You're into it. No, I'm all joking aside. This sounds really incredible.
Yeah, it does. I think it's going to be a smash hit for them, and I can't wait to meet her in the parks as well. I imagine she'll be appearing soon.
And in Animal Kingdom, right?
Oh, yeah, maybe. Or Epcot, even.
Oh, yeah, if that Indian pavilion ever gets off the ground. Oh. I can't talk about that anymore. There's been so many. No.
It's a roller coaster. It's a roller coaster.
Next story, please. Glory, glory, Lord, we adore thee.
Oh, happy day.
Oh, happy day.
We could just do the whole episode with us singing these songs.
We are obviously referencing the Mega Smash,
one of
Sister
my
Act
favorites.
2, Back in the Habit, starring Lauryn Hill, and Jennifer Love Hewitt.
Yeah, I also celebrate the first movie, Sister Act. Let's talk about that.
Oh, this first movie's fantastic.
I mean,
the second one's kind of a mess, but like a glorious musical mess.
Oh, our friends Tom and Chris will slap you right in the face.
Oh, will they?
Yeah, that's their favorite one.
Well, they're wrong. I mean, it's great. It's very entertaining.
They don't listen. It's fine.
Oh, that's right. According to a December 7th Variety article, Sister Act 3 is currently in development for Disney's streaming service, Disney Plus, launching next year. Sister Act premiered in 1992, and it was part of Disney's Touchstone Pictures branch and starred Maggie Smith, Harvey Keitel, and Kathy Najimy, as well as Whoopi Goldberg.
I mean, if you're going to mention everybody else.
Yeah, I might as well mention Whoopi too, right?
Whoopi!
It earned $232 million at the box office worldwide.
Wow.
Sister Act 2, Back in the Habit, premiered in 1993. So like the next year. Did they just like churn these out?
They must have. In my head, it came out years later.
That's what I thought too.
Weird.
Yeah. As I mentioned, this starred Lauryn Hill, Jennifer Love Hewitt, also Maggie Smith, also Kathy Najimy, also Whoopi Goldberg.
Yay.
Here's the sad news.
Uh-oh.
It's unknown whether Whoopi Goldberg is attached to Sister Act 3.
I'm so angry right now.
Are you
that's true?
Yeah. Would you watch without Whoopi, or would you?
I'm gonna Hulk smash the TV if she doesn't at least make an appearance.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah.
It's just she is the franchise. You know what I mean?
The good news is that they have incredible talent behind the script. Insecure co-executive producer Regina Hicks. Do you watch Insecure, Patrick?
I love that. I love that show.
So good.
It's real good. If you're a child listening, don't watch that show.
Yes, please don't watch that.
We can't recommend it for you, but your parents should watch it.
It's about adult things.
Yep.
And star showrunner Karen Gist will write the sequel, and they both previously co-wrote Drumline and the two Camp Rock Disney Channel original movies.
So this feels right in their wheelhouse, right?
I think so. It seems like it's going to be a very lighthearted, romp. Can I romp?
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
A nun romp?
Yeah, a romp in the nunnery.
A rump in the nunnery could be an Insecure episode.
Yep. True story.
Listen, I'm excited for this project. I would be very curious about it. I'll be even more curious if Whoopi is actually a part of the film.
I don't know if you saw it. So this past September, she actually gave an interview on Good Morning Britain.
Yeah.
And Whoop, I call her Whoop.
You guys are so tight.
She's good with it. We're fine. She was asked if there will be a Sister Act 3, and she said, and I'm quoting, "We've been all over Disney begging, and they've decided that they are going in a different direction with Sister Act. So it won't be Sister Act 3, which it is called Sister Act 3 as far as we know. That's not part of the quote. But it'll be a brand new rendition of Sister Act. And I guess I'll walk through a scene, and that's how they'll say I was a part of it."
Oh.
It was real awkward.
Oh.
But this again was in September, and things changed real quickly at Disney.
Yeah.
So who knows? Who knows? Maybe if enough of us D fans out there raise our voices.
That's a reference to the Broadway musical Sister Act.
It sure is.
Raise your voice. That's the best part of that show.
Yeah.
Lift it up to heaven.
When the nuns just go crazy bonkers on
Patrick,
stage.
we saw that together. We had so many drinks before we saw that show.
That scene was like a mix between the showboat in the end of Splash Mountain
Yep.
and the penguins in the church at the end of Muppets Take Manhattan when they're just flying through the air. That's what it reminded me of.
It made me want to get out of my seat and just like dance in the aisle.
You were dancing in your seat. It was super cool.
Yeah.
It was super cool. So who knows? It's a mystery. It's still real early. Anything can happen, right? Pixar has announced its newest movie, Onward.
I'm excited.
Onward and Upward. Onward will be directed by Dan Scanlon and produced by Corey Ray, the team behind Monsters University.
Didn't see it.
Oh, it's cute.
Did you see it?
Yep,
Okay.
I like it. I like the Monsters movies.
I do too. I just didn't see the second one.
Well, then you don't like them, I guess.
You're right.
You like the Monsters movie,
Yeah, I do.
Monsters Inc.
Yeah.
But not the movies, plural.
Listen, I knew Boo wasn't going to be in the second one, so I was like, enough. I've had enough.
I'm over it. Onward is set in a suburban fantasy world and introduces two teenage elf brothers who embark on an extraordinary quest to discover if there is still a little magic left out there. A quote from director Dan Scanlon, "At Pixar, we try to create stories that come from some kind of personal truth. This film was inspired by my own relationship with my brother. Apparently, they're elves."
Fact.
Yep.
You heard it here.
We broke the news. Dan Scanlon's an elf. Pixar also announced just a few of the voice actors who will be featured in Onward. And, let me know if you've heard of them. Chris Pratt.
Nope.
Okay. He's from Guardians of the Galaxy.
Doesn't ring a bell.
1 and 2.
Okay, nope.
Great. Tom Holland.
Who's he?
Spider-Man from Spider-Man Homecoming.
Sorry. No.
You'd know him if you turned around.
Oh.
You'd recognize that Spider-Man. That Spider-Man. I'll say it. Julia Louis-Dreyfus.
Yes, of course I know who she is.
Yeah, from Veep.
From Veep, from Seinfeld.
Not in my book.
From A Bug's Life.
From A Bug's Life. That's right.
In fact, she's one of the few actors who has been given the opportunity to repeat a vocal performance in a Pixar film.
Oh, I did not know that. And last but not least, Octavia Spencer.
Love Octavia.
Love her. I haven't seen The Shape of Water. Have you?
I have seen The Shape of Water.
Okay. Do I need to see it?
I did not love The Shape of Water.
Got it.
She's fantastic in it.
Yeah, okay.
But I didn't care for the film.
Okay, fair enough. I care for her, though, deeply.
Yes.
I want to hug her.
Yes.
I want to talk to her.
Yep.
I want her to be my grandmother.
Yeah.
I want all the things.
Yeah, she just seems like a very affectionate, very sincere person.
Very funny as well.
Oh, yeah.
Man alive.
Yeah.
She's got the jokes. So I'm excited about this. Of course, it doesn't come out till 2020.
That's right. March 6th, 2020 is
March
the release
6th.
date.
Yeah. Is that when's the Ides of March? Is that the 8th?
I think it's the 15th, right?
I mean, I'm a very Shakespearean.
You're so into Greek history.
Yeah.
Or was it Roman?
I
It was
don't
Caesar.
know.
Rome. Caesar.
The
Yeah.
Ides of March.
How about that Terms of Endearment cartoon?
Yep.
What I'm most excited about in Onward is the world that it sounds like they're creating, right? So I read an article that said that unicorns are treated almost like raccoons, like they're digging in the trash all the time. And the elves are like, get out of there. Like they're all these mythical, magical creatures have kind of become blasé.
Yeah.
Or like the elf world is just used to them, and like elves are using cell phones, and they said that like centaurs are eating fast food, and there's anthropomorphic trees growing in the middle of a parking lot. Like it's just become this very kind of suburban world. Like you said, it was a suburban fantasy.
Yeah.
So it'll be interesting to see that in the film.
Yeah, absolutely. And Pixar, I mean, they're just wonderful at what they do. They create these worlds, and you fully believe that you're in them. And I imagine if this does well enough, it might be in addition to if they're adding this whole world, or creating a whole world. Imagine what they can do in the parks, right?
Oh my gosh, I didn't even think about that, but yeah.
Yeah, I'm most excited about imagining Tom Holland reading the lines.
Yeah.
Probably without a shirt.
Okay. Yeah, sure.
Just drinking a whiskey.
Yeah, isn't he like 16 or 17?
In the movie, he's a full adult.
Oh, is he a full adult in real life too?
He is a full-grown 22-year-old man.
All right, so Patrick, all of your lusty fantasies are valid.
Yeah.
And I can now support you in them.
Thank you so much. And I will support him in his dreams as well. Tom's. Holland's. Love you.
Reservations are now open for an incredible New Year's Eve event at Disney's Paradise Pier Hotel in Disneyland Resort.
You stressed a very specific word in that sentence.
I sure did, and I'm going to get to that. Just be patient, Patrick.
Fine.
The family-friendly event will feature characters from Incredibles 2
What?
at the PCH Grill.
I want to go to there.
The event will feature a buffet with all you care to enjoy. I love how they use that now, as opposed to all you care to eat.
Yeah.
Like they're trying to soften the fact that we're all pigs.
It's true. Well, because here's the thing. I can eat a lot, but I can only enjoy so much. I think that's why.
That's right.
After a level, it's not enjoyable anymore. It's just happening.
So the all you care to enjoy buffet, or eat until you hurt buffet,
That's what it is for me.
will include selections for adults and kids, and the kids will actually have build your own pizzas. That sounds fun.
That's not just for kids.
You're right.
Yeah.
After dinner, guests will adjourn to the Pacific Ballroom and have a dance party with the characters.
What?
There will be 2 midnight countdowns with celebratory toasts and balloon drops, one at 9 p.m. and one at midnight.
9 p.m. is my bedtime, so I might call it quits.
You know those like 5-year-olds are going to be partying till midnight, but you're like, I'm out.
You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to do the 9 p.m. one and then go back to the buffet. Because everybody's going to be dancing until midnight, and I'm going to be eating.
I love a man with a plan.
Thank you.
This celebration, oddly enough, takes place on December 31st, 2018.
Who would have thought?
Dinner will be served from 5 to 10 p.m., and the Pacific Ballroom New Year's Eve character celebration will start at 6:30 p.m. and end at 12:30 a.m. For menu details, more information, and to make reservations, visit Disneyland.com. Patrick, I've got a rumor for you.
Rumor has it.
The Beauty and the Beast stage show at Disney's Hollywood Studios in Walt Disney World will soon be closing. This is according to a December 10th Orlando Weekly article. The Beauty and the Beast stage show at Disney's Hollywood Studios opened in 1991, Patrick.
That's so long ago.
And as we all know, it currently plays in the outdoor covered theater, which seats 1,500 guests and is sometimes home to Music of Pixar Live, a symphony of characters live in concert.
I've never seen that. Did you get to see that?
I didn't get to see that, but I've heard it's great.
Yeah.
So I think the reason this rumor is swirling is because we know that the Beauty and the Beast sing-along is coming to the France Pavilion in Epcot. That was announced at the Destination D event a couple weeks ago in Orlando. And that sounds incredibly exciting.
Yeah.
So it makes sense that maybe the stage show would shutter its doors and to make room for another attraction that's similar,
Yeah.
but also different. But they're just, Epcot and Hollywood Studios are so close together, I don't know why you would run two of those shows at the same time.
Well, and let's not forget there's also Enchanted Tales with Belle in Magic Kingdom and the Beast Castle and Be Our Guest. There's a lot of Beauty and the Beast happening in the parks.
Which I'm in favor of.
Yes.
I mean, Tokyo, we want that dark ride.
Oh, boy. Yeah.
We know what you're doing over there.
I see
we want
you.
that in the States.
I see you.
Yeah, that's right. But yeah, these two attractions in particular would just be so similar. The sing-along and obviously the live stage show.
I just did a quick Google search, and this stage show came out the same year that the movie came out, the first animated movie, Beauty
Oh,
and the
did it
Beast.
really?
Man, they churned that out super quick.
I mean, it was a huge hit.
It was, of
Academy
course.
Award nominated for
I have
Best
to
Picture.
believe while they were making the movie, they were like, we've got gold here. We're going to create a stage show right now, and now we're going to take it away.
After what, 25 years?
A small 25 years later.
Is that what it is? 2018 minus 1991. One goes into 5.
My nose is bleeding
minus
right now.
Carry the 2 plus 12. 27 years, Patrick. I don't know. How did you not know that? 27 years.
I had to take off my shoes to count.
I mean, that's quite a long time for any attraction to be around.
And it's not my favorite stage show in the
Right.
parks.
It looks dated.
Yeah, it's good. It's
Right.
beautiful, but it's been surpassed by other stage shows by now. Just in terms of like with the capabilities of what they're doing now on
Right.
in some of these shows,
Right.
it's a little bit like, oh, that's like the Carousel of Progress now.
Right. So the question becomes, what's going to replace it? Jim Hill at the Disney Dish said perhaps Tangled. A Tangled show could replace it.
Oh, I'm interested in that.
Other rumors include Moana, which Hong Kong Disneyland now has a stage show of.
Ooh, I want to see that.
Yes. And yet another rumor is a villains show, a villains only show.
I'm interested.
It's also been suggested that special performances by Disney signed artists, similar to performances that frequently take place at Epcot, could fill that space.
Less interested in that.
I want that villains show.
I want the villain show. I'll take a Tangled. You know how I love Flynn.
Yeah, I don't think Disney needs you in that audience catcalling Flynn every 2 seconds.
I'll get kicked right out of that park so fast. But there already is a Tangled show on one of the cruise lines, a Disney Dream, I think. It's one of them. Maybe it's a Disney Magic. I don't know.
There's a Tangled show, and there's also, they now have a dining experience, too, a Tangled-themed dining experience on one of the cruises.
What?
Yeah.
I got to get on a cruise. I'm going to cruise so much on that cruise. For Flynn and for pancakes. But mostly Flynn. Nope, mostly pancakes.
Patrick, are you ready to go back to the Christmases of our childhoods? Our youths?
Oh, our youths.
Our youths.
I am.
We need to talk, Patrick. We need to talk about Mickey's Christmas Carol.
Oh, I thought you were going to have a very serious episode of Blossom with me just now.
That's a different kind of take, too.
Okay.
That's the other podcast.
Yes. So yeah, we're on another Take 2 episode, aren't we?
That's right. And this take 2, we're going all the way back to 1983 to Mickey's Christmas Carol, which
Yeah.
was released in conjunction with a re-release of The Rescuers, one of your favorite movies.
My favorite. Not my very favorite, but one of them.
As we mentioned in episode 10, this was the first original Mickey Mouse theatrical cartoon produced in over 30 years
That's right.
and features just a gaggle of Disney characters, right? It was released by Buena Vista Distribution in the U.S. on December 16th, 1983.
Which makes this the 35th anniversary.
That's right.
Yeah, I was just doing some quick math in my head, and I was like, wait a minute.
You know, when we were originally having this conversation about what should our take 2 be for this episode, and, you know, it's Christmas time.
It sure is.
So obviously this was the choice.
Yeah.
we were texting back and forth. When I looked at the runtime of it, it's only 26 minutes. And I was like,
26.
Patrick,
Yeah.
I remember this being like hours long.
I feel like, I sat down and had some popcorn and some hot chocolate and watched this, and it felt like a full-length animated movie, but it's just a short.
And I think the reason we felt that way was because as I dug into this more and did some research on Mickey's Christmas Carol, I realized that we had recorded it off of television when it was broadcast on television.
Oh, yes. We full-on had a bootleg on tape.
Yes.
Yeah.
VHS.
That's right. With commercials.
With commercials and
Yeah.
also with 3 short cartoons that were included before it.
Mm-hmm.
And that is why, I think anyway, why I remember it being so long.
Yeah. It was a full, evening of Wonderful World of Disney, right?
That's right. So included with Mickey's Christmas Carol was Donald's Snow Fight, which was released in 1942, Pluto's Christmas Tree, which was released in 1952, and The Art of Skiing with Goofy, which was released in 1941.
Amazing. I love those shorts. I totally forgot about them, and you reminded me that they were released in conjunction with this on television. And
Right.
I full on went back
Yes.
into a 10-year-old Patrick watching these movies or these shorts.
Let's just touch on them before we get to Mickey's Christmas Carol. So Mickey's Christmas Carol, just step aside.
Yeah, put a pin in it.
Let's talk about Donald's Snow Fight.
Yes.
This is my favorite of the 3.
Is it? Okay.
I love Donald.
Yeah.
He's the most like me of all the Disney characters.
Just quick-tempered.
Quick-tempered and...
Can't understand what he's saying half the time.
Absolutely right. Yeah, hates the cold.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So for those of you that may have seen this or remember seeing it as a child, it's basically Donald in a snowball fight with his 3 nephews, Huey, Dewey, and Louie.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. Making not their debut, right? But this was right around the time that they were released, I think, the 3 of them.
That's right. And it escalates, of course, to the point where they're both kind of in this war-type setting where Donald's on a ship on this icy lake, and the 3 nephews are in this kind of ice castle they've built.
Yeah.
And they're just hurling flaming snowballs at each other. And
Yeah, it takes a quick turn into a real Game of Thrones situation.
I like how Donald kind of refuses to lose, though, even when he's fighting children.
Yeah.
He just will not give up.
Nope, he'll punch anyone.
And then we have Pluto's Christmas Tree.
And this is my favorite of the 3.
Is it really?
Yeah, I love this one so much. I love Chip and Dale. I love Pluto. And, of course, Mickey Mouse. Those 4 together is just a dream come true for me.
So this short is basically Mickey and Pluto chop down their Christmas tree and bring it back into the house. And, of course, Chip and Dale are inside the Christmas tree and wreak havoc. They're basically taunting Pluto from inside the Christmas tree, and Pluto's not having it.
He's not having it. He's protecting that tree and losing at the same time.
Do you know what stands out most in my mind from my childhood about this short? Is Dale walking through the tree.
Yes.
When there's all the lights inside of it, and
Yes.
he's just really living his moment and enjoying that experience.
Yeah, he wakes up and the tree is fully decorated and it's really beautiful.
It made me want to be inside a tree.
I did that. I remember
You climbed inside a tree?
Didn't climb inside of it, but it sparked a memory of I remember going underneath the
Yep.
Christmas tree
and looking up into it.
Yeah, looking up into it
Yep.
and trying to get that same visual.
Yep.
Oh man,
Yeah.
I fully turned into a 10-year-old when I watched this again.
It made me remember how truly adorable Chip and Dale are together.
Yes.
Dale is just a nut.
Look what you did.
And Chip, of course, is the more sensible of the two.
Yeah. Do you know how you can tell Chip from Dale to keep it in your memory? Chip has a chocolate chip nose and Dale has the red nose. So think of that.
I just think of Chip has a tiny black nose and Dale has a big brown nose.
Oh, but chocolate chip.
Got it.
Chip.
Got it.
He has a chip on his shoulder as well.
That's me.
Yeah, fair enough.
As Donald.
Yeah, this of the 3 was the most nostalgic for me.
It's also interesting to see Mickey in an outfit you don't normally see him in.
Yeah.
He's in kind of a t-shirt and pants. Mm-hmm. And he kind of gives it to Pluto at the end of the episode. And by gives it, I mean he kind of, because Pluto destroys the tree.
Yeah, he loses his mind.
Yeah, in his intent to get Chip and Dale out of the tree. Mm-hmm. And Mickey says, you stupid dog or something like that, which to me is Mickey.
Yeah, he's at home, Mickey. He's closed doors, Mickey, in this one.
And then last but not least, we have The Art of Skiing, which was released in 1941. And this is one of those great old Sport Goofy shorts. And Goofy is basically demonstrating or going through a skiing lesson.
Yes.
And there's a narrator talking over him. You never actually hear Goofy unless he does the, you as he falls. Yeah.
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 There's a joke in my family. My dad sounds like Goofy when he's on thrill rides.
Oh, does he?
Yeah, he does that exact sound, and we laugh for days afterwards.
That's so cute. This is another classic, and going back and watching it, just as you said, it reignited all those memories of sitting in my parents' living room, watching this holiday special.
Yeah, we had a bootleg of all those sort of Christmas specials from that era. So like the toy, remember the toy that came out? Was it called the Christmas toy with the tiger and the toys that came to life?
No.
In the movie, it was a Jim Henson production.
Oh no.
Yeah. Oh, we have to watch that. It's amazing.
Oh my gosh.
So yeah, it was that and like Frosty the Snowman and Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer. They were all on one Christmas tape for us, and we would just sit down and watch it every year.
So anyway, I just wanted to mention those because the flood of memories that popped into my head after I learned that these were broadcast on TV in conjunction with Mickey's Christmas Carol just made me feel like a kid again.
Yeah, it was awesome. It was a really good feeling.
Okay, but to the main feature.
Yes, on to Mickey's Christmas Carol. This movie is full of fascinating Disney, firsts, some Disney lasts. There's a lot of history in this movie. So it was produced and directed by Bernie Mattinson, who also has a story by credit for The Rescuers, Fox and the Hound, The Great Mouse Detective, Beauty and the Beast, Aladdin, The Lion King, Pocahontas, The Hunchback of Notre Dame, Tarzan, and Mulan.
He's a busy guy.
Holy buckets. Holy buckets. And this was one of his first, I think, for Disney, the Mickey Christmas Carol.
Another first, it was the first time that Wayne Allwyn voiced Mickey for the big screen.
That's right.
Of course, it was the first time Mickey had returned to the big screen in 30 years, so naturally he would do it.
And he was just the third person to voice him, isn't that right?
That's right.
Started by, of course, Walt Disney himself.
And did you know that Wayne Allwyn was married to Russi Taylor, who has voiced Minnie Mouse since 1986?
That is the most adorable thing I've ever heard in my life.
Mickey and Minnie were actually married.
What?
Yeah.
Aw.
Wayne has since passed away, but Russi still voices Minnie Mouse to this day.
That's amazing.
And you also mentioned that it was a last for some things, too. And Mickey's Christmas Carol was the last time we heard Clarence Ducky Nash voice Donald Duck.
Yeah.
And he was the original voice of Donald Duck.
He sure was. He passed away in 1985, so just after this movie was released. There's a really good clip if you've watched the making of him doing Donald Duck's voice. Nothing more adorable than that.
And we're talking about the making of Mickey's Christmas Carol, which can be found on YouTube. And we both highly recommend watching because it gives a great glimpse back into 1980s Disney animation studio style. I mean, not only the clothes they're wearing, but also just the kind of disregard for historical artifacts from the studio.
Oh man.
Like, for instance, they go down into the archives and they just pull out a book of drawings, and it's a book of like Jiminy Cricket from like Pinocchio.
And there's like a guard basically asleep at the door. I mean, it was just like, what on earth?
I mean, you have to imagine today they have like climate controlled.
Oh, yeah.
Because I'm sure all of those pages
fully
were
preserved.
just like, yeah. But, the studio was different back in those days. They weren't as successful as they are now. And so I'm sure it was just more of like a cost-saving measure.
Yeah, that whole room was just a fire hazard. Oh, boy.
So anyway, if you get a chance, check it out on YouTube. It's the making of Mickey's Christmas Carol. It's a great kind of addition to the experience of watching the short.
Going back to some of the cast, another first, of course, was Alan Young, who voiced Scrooge McDuck. This was his first time he played Scrooge McDuck, and he would continue to until he passed away in 2016. He was also very well known as playing Wilbur in the TV show Mr. Ed.
That's where I recognized him from, because he's on the documentary too.
He is. And once I learned that, I was like, oh, of course that was him. And when I say the first time he played him, I mean first time he played him in a movie, because of course he was on The Record, right?
That's right. They had released a record, like a radio show recording of Mickey's Christmas Carol. I don't even think it was called Mickey's Christmas Carol, but it was a record that you could purchase.
Yeah.
That had Alan Young playing Scrooge McDuck on it, as well as several other characters on there too. So that was kind of the impetus for this special.
Yes, this movie was inspired by that recording, and was more narrated by Scrooge instead of it just being a full-on movie. It also had some songs which did not make it into the movie. Of course, it's not a musical, but the recording on the record was a musical.
I do like the song that starts Mickey's Christmas Carol, though. The "Oh, what a da, 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 da."
Yeah, it is pretty.
And clearly, I'm an expert at the lyrics for it because
that was spot on.
Nailed them.
Da da da. That was actually the lyrics. Should we talk about some more of the fun cast in this? Speaking of, something that I loved about this movie was it was as though the Disney characters were actors cast in a movie.
That's what I was thinking about when I was watching it, too.
It was so fun to watch because, of course, it's not Mickey Mouse. It's
Right.
Mickey Mouse playing Bob Cratchit.
Right. You never really see that. You see it in the Muppets.
Yeah.
But you never have really seen it in a Disney.
Yeah, it's fun to think of the
Short
characters as
before.
actors
Yeah.
as opposed to as the characters that they are.
It was also really cool that they used a lot of historical, and I'm air quotes here, historical kind of English-inspired characters. Like you see a lot of characters from Wind in the Willows
Oh, yes.
or The Adventures of Mr. Toad and Ichabod, you know what I'm saying? Like,
Yep,
and
Robin Hood.
Robin Hood, yeah. So you see those English characters that were used in previous Disney films returning here for another English story.
Yep, it was a real who's who of Disney actors.
Hal Smith portrayed Goofy, who portrayed Jacob Marley in the movie.
Yes. And Hal Smith voiced Owl in The New Adventures of Winnie the Pooh.
Oh, I didn't know that.
And Philippe in Beauty and the Beast, the horse.
Did he really?
Apparently he did the neigh of the horse. And he was also Jafar's horse in Aladdin.
That man's horse work is phenomenal.
He's not horsing around.
Oh!
I bet his voice was hoarse after doing that.
Okay, now you've gone too far.
Nope, it's never far enough.
One more?
What a horse.
I mean...
Nope.
Okay.
Got it.
Eddie Carroll voiced Jiminy Cricket, and Jiminy Cricket played the Ghost of Christmas Past, and this was Jiminy Cricket's return to the big screen as well. He had not been seen for many, many years.
Oh, sure, yeah. Whenever I hear Jiminy Cricket's voice, I get a little teary-eyed. It's that classic Disney warm voice, and of course
Yeah.
that makes me think of Wishes.
Right.
The old nighttime spectacular in the Magic Kingdom. It's such a nostalgic sound.
Will Ryan voiced Willie the Giant, and he was the Ghost of Christmas Present. He also voiced Pete, who was the Ghost of Christmas Future, as well as several other characters in the short.
He also did the voice of Petrie in The Land Before Time.
Did he really?
Yeah, the little pterodactyl.
Is he the Yup, Yup, Yup? Oh, no, it's Ducky.
Nope, that was Ducky.
Oh, okay.
And the seahorse in The Little Mermaid.
I love how they use these people.
Yeah.
And they just keep popping up in the most random roles.
Yes.
Will Ryan, I think, deserves praise for his performance as the Ghost of Christmas Present. Willie the Giant.
Yeah.
Miss Mashio.
Smashios.
Miss Mashio.
Oh, it was so cute. If you don't know who Willie the Giant is, he was the giant in Mickey and the Beanstalk, which is one of my favorite Disney shorts. And you can see him there's a gift shop in the Magic Kingdom that's inspired by Mickey and the Beanstalk, and you can see him peeking into the building. It's really cute.
I find the sound of Scrooge McDuck falling on the suckling pig so satisfying in the scene when they first meet, because he drops him on the pig and there's like
Yeah.
this thump, almost like the delicious sound of when you tap on a giant book.
I did not think that you were going to talk about that.
That's another thing that just, for whatever reason, I was fixated as
Yeah.
a child, and it just reminded me of that sound and how appealing it was to me.
Yeah, there's a lot of those moments in this movie. It really brings you back if you are of our age who saw it when we were around, like 10 years old? That was my first memory, I think. Well, maybe even younger than that.
Yeah, I
man.
was definitely younger because I remember the McDonald's tie-in and trying to get
Yes.
the toys associated
Yes.
with the movie.
I certainly didn't watch it in its first release, but I do remember watching it when it went to TV. And of course, Patricia Paris voiced Daisy Duck, who played Belle in the movie, who went on to voice Kanga in The New Adventures of Winnie the Pooh.
Did she really?
She sure did.
Can we have a moment? Can we talk about Daisy Duck for a little bit?
Of course we can. Daisy Duck is one of my favorites.
Why is she always so... How can I put this?
Gorgeous.
I mean, obviously she's gorgeous, she's fabulous, but she's always like turned up. She's ready.
Yeah, she's a sassafras.
Yes.
Yeah.
But I mean, like, I feel like her libido is always at an 11. Does that make sense? Like, she's always gunning for it.
She's ready for a smooch.
Yeah, that's that is the most sincere, polite way to say it on a podcast.
She's like the opposite of Minnie Mouse, right? Minnie Mouse is very demure and
That's a
reserved.
good point. Yeah.
And Daisy's like, nope, we're taking it to the streets. I love her. I love meeting Daisy Duck in the parks.
Yeah.
It's always a good time meeting Daisy Duck. Some other fun cameos in the movie. It's sort of like a blink and you'll miss it, but there's the big bad wolf and the three little pigs are in the very opening scene. And we said before, there's a lot of Robin Hood characters. Lady Cluck was in it. She's the big hen from Robin Hood, and a lot of the rabbit children from Robin Hood were in it. Horace Horsecollar and Clarabelle Cow.
I saw them dancing at Fezziwigs.
Fezziwigs, who is Toad from Wind in the Willows.
Yes, J. Thaddeus Toad is Fezziwig in the movie.
Amazing. Angus McBadger from Wind in the Willows is in it. Huey, Dewey, and Louie have a little bit of an appearance in there.
Ratty.
Man alive.
Mole.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The Weasels.
Yeah.
Crazy.
Yes, a lot of classic characters from Disney's past.
Mm-hmm. It was like old home week.
It
for Disney.
was.
You know what I mean?
It was. Old home for the holidays week.
Aw.
So let's chat about the story itself.
Yeah.
Because they take some liberties with the movie.
Just a
First
few.
of all, there's a duck playing Scrooge.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
There's a mouse playing Bob Cratchit.
Yeah, you don't see that on stage all the time.
Obviously, it's a short, so it's a condensed version of A Christmas Carol, right?
Real condensed. They blow right through it.
But I gotta say, the stuff they remove, I'm for it.
That's when I was.
You
thinking,
don't feel like you're missing.
No, not
Yeah.
at all. You get the full arc of Scrooge's story. Like he goes through all the steps that he needs to go through, and I don't miss anything.
I love the style of the movie. It looks very English and almost has that kind of Xeroxed copy that a lot of the animated films from the 80s did. A lot of the Disney animated films anyway. Mm-hmm. That kind of like, things look a little bit dirtier. Do you know what I'm talking about? Like, it's not so much clean lines. It's a little bit more rough around the edges.
Yeah, it's not bright and cheery. It's just a little drab. And I mean that in a good way.
Right. So we have like the opening. He's walking through the streets. He goes into his counting house.
Mm-hmm.
There's the classic exchange with his nephew Fred, who's played by Donald Duck.
Mm-hmm.
Right. Come to dinner.
Oh.
Does that sound like Donald Duck at all?
No.
Oh, okay. I gave it a shot though.
You sure did. You sure did.
And then of course Scrooge goes home that night, and that's when he experiences the three ghosts, right? The
Yes.
ghost of Christmas past, the ghost of Christmas present, the ghost of Christmas future.
And preceded, of course, by Jacob Marley.
Who's played by Goofy.
Goofy, the best Jacob Marley.
In the documentary, The Making of Mickey's Christmas Carol, they talk about how difficult it was to make Goofy scary because they needed to convey that Scrooge was scared of Jacob Marley,
Sure.
but then also keep Goofy funny because he's such a naturally funny character.
Which I think they did a pretty good job of. I mean, he's a ghost, and who's not afraid of a ghost, right? And so it makes sense that he's afraid of him, but he still kept that goofy charm with the...
And then what I appreciate about the movie, going back to them removing elements that we didn't necessarily miss, was that each of the ghosts shows Scrooge McDuck one thing, right?
Yeah.
So like in the story of A Christmas Carol and the stage versions you may have seen, or even the movies that were released prior to this and after this, there's 3 or 4 things that each ghost shows him
Yeah.
from his past, his present, his future, that kind of rattle Scrooge and get him to change. But this one, they kind of take the best one from each of those segments and use that as their main point they want to get across to Scrooge. So Ghost of Christmas Past, of course, we mentioned that they go to Fezziwig's and he has that experience where he sees Belle and realizes that he's lost her. I guess they do show him in his counting house too when he rejects her.
Just briefly, though, yeah.
Yeah. And then the Ghost of Christmas Present shows him the Cratchits. And this breaks my heart when
man.
little tiny Tim comes down the stage. I'm coming, Father.
Yeah.
So cute.
Yeah.
And I didn't know his name was Ferdy Fieldmouse. Like he was an actual character that they repurposed.
Yeah, I need to look into the archives and see what else he was in.
But that's such a sweet scene because he offers Mickey his little drumstick and Mickey's like cutting an olive. They're
And Minnie,
that poor.
Minnie has 0 lines.
She has 0 lines.
I was like, wait a minute. Apparently she did have lines, but they cut them. Because 26 minutes, they were like, we cannot have 27 minutes. It's got to be 26.
I'm so glad they allowed Daisy to keep her lines, but Minnie, they're like, sorry.
Yeah, hush up, Minnie. No, hashtag we're with Minnie.
Yes. She was probably just so emaciated from not eating and doing all of Scrooge McDuck's laundry that she just could not get a word out.
That's true. Or if she was so angry at Mickey for making her do this, she was like, we're not talking and you know why.
And then Pete comes as the Ghost of Christmas Future, and we have the classic graveyard scene. Again, this is another heartbreaking scene because we actually see Mickey emote at the grave of his dead son. I mean, I don't want to make it too dark, but that's what we're witnessing.
And they went there too. When I see a Disney cartoon character cry, I can't help but well up myself. I don't know what it is. They know how to make sad happen
Yes.
visually. Oh boy.
Have we ever seen Mickey? Can you remember any time when you've seen Mickey cry?
I slapped him once and he cried
Oh,
a
did
little
he?
bit. Yeah. But other than that, I can't think of a time.
Yeah, I couldn't think of it either, and it's so heartbreaking to watch that scene.
It is. It's real. It's rough.
And then speaking of going there,
Yeah.
Pete shows Scrooge McDuck his grave,
Yep.
and his casket opens up, and flames come from the casket.
Yeah. He goes straight to hell.
He goes straight to hell.
Oof.
Do you think that would happen if they did this cartoon today? Would they recreate that scene? Why, it's yours, Ebenezer. And then the casket opens up in flames.
I hope so. I hope so. Well, I mean, they did that for Wind in the Willows. Like and Mr. Toad's Wild Ride, on that ride, you go to hell during it.
Yeah, but both of those were produced before this.
That's true.
This was 83. And I struggled to believe that they would go that dark. I struggled to believe that we would have that moment with Mickey at his son's grave if this movie was produced today.
You're wrong.
I could be.
No, I'm just kidding. I see what you're saying. Yeah, but I don't know. It's part of the story. I mean, it's not as though like you saw Tiny Tim die.
That was
choke.
actually in the original director's cut.
Yeah. It's just sort of assumed. So I feel like when I was a lot younger, I didn't necessarily put it all together. Do you know what I mean?
Right.
But of course now we know he did.
I was a very emotional child and I got it right away and I was very upset by it.
Yeah, I was not an emotionally intelligent child. And
Still
I was just like,
still not.
He's sleeping.
Yep.
He's sad that he's sleeping so much.
The good news is that Patrick and anyone else who hasn't seen it, spoiler alert, it's all a dream, or is it? Because Scrooge wakes up the next morning and is a changed man.
He sure is.
And Scrooge McDuck runs out onto those streets.
With a coat rack in his back.
That's right. And he gives money to Ratty and Mole, who were collecting money for the poor earlier in the short. And he runs into Donald on the street and says he'll be coming to dinner. And then, of course, he goes to the Cratchit home.
Yeah. And he plays a little trick on him.
He does. He has a pack full of toys and a turkey in with the toys.
Yeah, it doesn't seem healthy.
It doesn't.
Or sanitary, but...
Things back then were just disgusting.
That's true. He tricks him. He tells him he's got laundry to do, but Tiny Tim, that little sneak, opens the bag and finds all the presents.
That's right. Toys.
So many toys and turkeys.
And there's a happy ending.
I do like a happy ending, and this did not fail. It wraps up very beautifully and quickly.
It does. 26 minutes.
26 minutes. So for me, this movie still held up. I still loved it. I still got those warm, fuzzy feelings. I wasn't bored at all. It was beautiful. And the 26 minutes didn't go by too quickly. Do you know what I mean? Like you said, they got the full story out there. I loved all the cameos. I loved this movie. I really feel like I might have to add it back into my Christmas rotation every year.
I'd be really curious for anyone out there listening who hasn't seen it as an adult to watch it now and to see if you have a connection with it, because we're
in that sweet spot. Right, for when this movie, who it was intended for when it came out.
Right, and so we had that connection with it from our childhood. But it'd be interesting to hear from an adult and get that perspective on it to see if they have that kind of emotional response to it that we do.
And if you have kids, are they watching it and are they getting a lot out of it as well?
Right.
I don't know. I really want to go to Disney World during the holidays because I hear that there's a window display of all these scenes.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's still there, but it was, and I really want to see that.
I believe it is there this year where they recreate scenes from the movie.
And I want those. I want like a little village to put up in my house of the scenes. It's so, I love, those scenes are so iconic for me. They're just really burned into my memory, and that must be because I watched it 47 times every year.
Yes, it's true.
I'm glad we did this because it was a really nice jump start to the holidays for me. I feel like Christmas is right around the corner, but it hasn't really felt like it this year for some reason. I don't know what it is. Maybe we've just been very busy and I haven't noticed, but watching this really got me in a holiday spirit. I was like, I want to have some hot chocolate now. I want all my friends to come over and play games and sing Christmas carols. It really brought that warm feeling.
I'm in the same boat as you. I have not been feeling very Christmassy this year.
Yeah.
And I've learned as I get older to not try to force that feeling because then it just makes it that much worse.
Yeah.
There are some years when I'm super invested in Christmas and I'm feeling it 100%. And there's some years where it's just for whatever reason not really connecting with me.
Yeah.
But watching Mickey's Christmas Carol took me back to my parents' house in Wisconsin. I remember, just feeling that sense of warmth and comfort, knowing that my parents were there, shoving Christmas cookies into my mouth as I was watching this holiday special and really feeling that very homey feeling.
Absolutely, knowing that school was out for 2 or 3 weeks.
Yes.
Man.
Yeah.
That was a life. That was a life of a 7-year-old. Just kicking back and watching Mickey's Christmas Carol every day for 3 weeks in a row.
So we'd love to know what you think about Mickey's Christmas Carol and even your thoughts on the making of Mickey's Christmas Carol, available on YouTube, or any of the 3 shorts that we mentioned that would air prior to Mickey's Christmas Carol.
Yeah.
You can reach out to us on social media at GDTD Podcast.
Or, of course, by email at info@gaysdothed.com.
Patrick.
Yes?
Merry Christmas.
Happy holidays. Happy holidays. Do the D. Hey, Adam.
Hey, Patrick.
Guess what time it is?
Christmas time.
Almost.
Okay.
It's Quick D time.
It's quick dismiss time.
Oh, that was good.
Just keep going. Just pretend I didn't say that.
No, you said it, and I'm with it.
Thank you.
Quick Demas time. For those of you who don't know, Quick D is when Adam and I ask each other a Quick D question that we have not been privy to prior to this recording. Adam, are you ready?
I'm ready.
Here it goes.
Okay.
It's casting couch time, Adam.
Oh, dear.
Mm-hmm. You know what I mean. It's time to recast Mickey's Christmas Carol with all new Disney characters. Who do you cast? Go.
Oh, my gosh. Okay. Scrooge is going to be played by Claude Frollo.
This is going to be a dark version.
Pretty good, though, right?
Yeah,
I mean, he's got that look about him.
Fair.
Bob Cratchit is going to be played by still Mickey Mouse. I'm keeping Mickey Mouse. Is that okay? Is that allowed?
I'll give you one pass on that one.
I feel like Mickey should stay in that role.
Fine.
Okay. Fred, the nephew, is going to be played by the Hunchback.
Okay.
Because I want to keep that dynamic.
Got it.
Who else have we got? Okay, Ghost of Christmas Past is going to be played by the Blue Fairy.
Ooh.
The Ghost of Christmas Present is going to be played by Baymax.
Oh, I was thinking that in my head. That's really weird that you said that.
Were you?
Yeah. Uh-huh.
And the Ghost of Christmas Future is going to be played by... Oh, what's the guy from The Night on Bald Mountain? Chernoborg from the Fantasia sequence, the big like demon guy on the mountain.
Oh, I see. Yep.
Him. Okay, who else do I need to cast?
Tiny Tim.
Oh, Tiny Tim is going to be Grandma Coco.
Oh.
because
she's got a cane.
Well, there's that infirmity there. Right? She's like in a wheelchair, so there's like her ailment, right?
Yeah.
And plus, like your heart just goes out to her when you see her on screen.
Yeah.
So I think that is like the obvious casting choice for Tiny Tim.
Very clear. It's very clear. Very clear that these are all terrible choices. Terrible choices.
I want to see Isabel or Belle, formerly played by Daisy Duck, as Jessica Rabbit. Like I just want her to be a vamp. You know, like.
Scrooge would never say no to her, though.
That's true. Any more that I need to mention?
I was thinking maybe King Triton could play the Ghost of Christmas Present.
Oh, that's a good one.
Thank you.
That's a sexy choice.
Yeah.
Those abs.
I know. I don't know how he would do out of the water, but he just flops around.
I think as long as his fishtail is submerged in water, he's fine. Because at the end of the movie, he's outside of water waving to Ariel and Prince Eric at their wedding.
That's true. So this is going to be an aquatic version of Mickey's Christmas Carol.
At least half aquatic. Mm-hmm. Maybe he could like just float around in a gold chalice of wine, the milk of human kindness. There's that tie-in.
Wow. It'll be like a Cirque show instead.
Yeah. Cirque du Soleil.
Ooh. Coming soon to a theater near you.
Someone's probably already said that. I can't take credit for that.
Nope, you said it first. What about Jacob Marley? We forgot about him.
That's right. Jacob Marley would be recast. Sorry, goof.
Uh-oh.
Jacob Marley would be played by probably like by Hades or somebody like that, right? Like an actual existing ghost type figure. Or does it need to be someone just even more obscure? What about like Ichabod Crane? He'd be a good Jacob Marley, like very gangly and like kind of
yeah, there you go.
Spooky.
I like it. I was thinking Mushu could be Tiny Tim. A real sassy Tiny Tim.
Where's he getting that energy from? He has like a drumstick to eat, and that's all.
They're actors. Adam.
Oh, okay.
They're acting.
Okay.
Also, he's tiny. So
right. There's that tie-in. That Tiny Tim tie-in.
Well, these are all wonderful choices.
I mean, they're okay.
Yep. They're going to be on a casting couch near you.
Let's move on to my quick D.
Please do.
Also related to Mickey's Christmas Carol.
Oh.
Probably not so shocking since we just talked about Mickey's Christmas Carol.
Yeah. How do we think about this?
Here's my quick D for you. What obscure ghost of Christmas would you be and what would you show me? So I want your, like, what is your Christmas ghost out of all of them? Like, it doesn't need to be a time-related issue. It could just be like, what Christmas ghost are you? And what are you going to show me, Patrick?
I'm the ghost of Christmas boozin'.
Oh, yeah? Oh, dear. I'm worried about what you're going to show me.
I'm going to show you I'm going to show you the World Showcase, and we're going to drink
I like
around
that.
the World Showcase.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
All those storytellers around World Showcase, we're going to let them have it.
Oh boy. It's going to be a mess. A lot of people are going to get like a drunken eggnog in their face.
That's risky of you to waste that. That could be going down your throat as opposed to in someone's face.
Well, I always get 2 drinks,
Oh, sure.
one to throw and one to drink.
Sure.
That's what Ghosts of Christmas Boozin' does.
What does Ghost of Christmas Boozin' wear?
Very little.
Oh, really?
Yeah. A watch,
Yeah.
a belt,
Okay.
some sunnies,
Oh, yeah,
and
sure.
some sandies.
Some sunnies and some sandals, yep.
And a hat.
I feel like copious amounts of body glitter are in need.
What do you mean?
Just like, don't you want to be covered in body glitter? Don't you want to appear magical?
Oh, I'm going to be magical
I
after
bet you
that
are.
after that 6th country.
What is your belt holding up, by the way?
It's not what it's holding up, but it's holding chalices.
Sure.
It's like a bandolier kind of a belt.
Oh, I like that.
And a sock. Who knows where it'll be,
Okay.
but I'll have a sock on somewhere.
And what is the purpose of our World Showcase stroll? Like, am I supposed to be learning something from this, or am I just enjoying the day with you?
Well, A, you're going to learn how to hold your liquor.
Okay, well, yeah, good luck.
B, at the end of it, when I throw up, it'll tell your future. You'll see it.
So it's like tea leaves,
Yeah.
but it's like puke.
There's like cookie crumbs.
Oh.
Because we've also had the cookies around the world.
Yeah, yeah. Okay, so
Yeah.
I feel like we're never going to be allowed into Epcot again.
No, not just one time.
All right.
It's a one-time experience.
So you've basically shown me how I get a lifetime ban from Disney.
Correct.
Thank you.
That's what we do. That's what we do. The ghosts and I. There's a group of us. It's not just me.
Oh, no.
The ghosts
dear.
of Christmas boozin'.
Yeah, yeah.
They're my boozin' and cruising ghosts. That will do it for this episode of Gays Do the D. Thanks for listening. Ratings and reviews are greatly appreciated and help people find us on Apple Podcasts, Google Play Music, Spotify, and Stitcher. Continue the conversation after this episode on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter at GDTD Podcast and on our website at gaysdothed.com. Submit your questions or show ideas to info@gaysdothed.com. Have a great week, everybody. See ya real soon.